Testing sound, testing sound. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. Well, good evening, race fans, and a very warm welcome to the penultimate round of season two, of the International Racing League. We are at Monza, the Cathedral of Speed, and it is for the Italian Grand Prix and the Italian sprint race. We are going to go straight into one-shot qualifying in 30 seconds time, so we'll have to probably wait until the sprint race to take you through the championship positions. But the most important thing you need to know with a few seconds left to go is we have crowned our champion, and that champion is a double champion. It is the Maestro, Moist, who is now the two-time International Racing League champion for Aston Martin team. We shall see how that has affected the rest of the standings in due course through the tonight. Welcome to everybody. This is Webbo. Good evening, especially to respond to Floyd, to AJ and Russ, who have all stopped by and said good evening in the live chat. If you're watching with us and you haven't yet done so, please tell us who you're here to support, and let's get the chat rolling. It's time to get underway, as Respond congratulates Moist straight away. Absolutely. And this is time for one-shot qualifying. As a spectator's view, I have to continually try and keep up with whoever's on pole, so bear with me as we run through. And then we'll be into our sprint race, which will be a short distance, 0 pit stop, before we head into the feature race, which is all the regular rules of a 50% race, as you're used to. we're going to get underway in just a couple of seconds' time. We'll get straight onto it, and we just hope that all our drivers have decided to have made sure, at least, that they have put all their setups on and are ready to get rolling. We shall be on track. It's beautiful, bright sunshine conditions at Monza, as it usually is. And the crowd are waiting and ready to cheer on their favourite of our International Racing League premium drivers here around the fantastic circuit of Monza. We'll be heading straight in towards the Variante del Rettifilo into the first corner, of course. And we'll be hoping that our drivers make it through Ascari for the majority of tonight's proceedings. We do tend to see quite a lot of racing dreams shattered on the exit of Ascari, of course, as AJ fills in with the kiki calls. As always, good to see everybody. Ciao bella. And we will be underway for I could have done, now with all these countdowns, I could have done the championship standings, but let's hope there's a quiet moment for me to run through them, at least between the sprint and the feature race. We'll take care of that at very latest. And here we go. As Moise says in the driver chat, first sprint quali without rain. So let's join the lead driver through the first few corners, join them on board as we head up. It's going to be Triple Bay who's the fastest out of the Parabolica. Heavy braking then down into the Rettifilo chicane as we get a little bit of opposite lock on the feed out from there, and he's lost a little bit of ground here to ARL, to Ricky Maru, to Adam Foran, who's now in the lead in the McLaren as we run through Curva Grande and down towards the left-hander of Variante della Roggia, which always confuses me calling a left-hander Roggia before we head into the first of the Curva di Lesmo. Just treat a little bit of margin for error on the inside. Apex is here on board the McLaren. Moist, though, through sector 2 has already got straight into the lead of this one. We'll just add the lap data for you as we head into then Ascari. Balance of risk versus reward. Moist is almost always on pole during these sprint quali, one-shot quali situations. Let's see if he can hold on to that record as we head down into the Parabolica. Looking for a good apex, outside exit, full throttle, down, cut the apron on the inside, look for the pole, and it's a 119.118. He is out there straight away, and his response says Moist needs to be nerfed ASAP. It'd be interesting to see. The drivers have to be drafted by the lowest teams in a realistic performance league for sure. But 3/10 on one-shot quali. He was imperious, even though he's now crowned champion, 119.118. And I have to say, you love to see the leading drivers still pushing 10/10, even when everything is won. It's close between second and third. Ricky Maru and Atsu set identical times for fourth and fifth positions. How the game works out, who got that, I'm not sure, because it was set at the same time. ARL, Alpha Alex, Sticky, Speedy Spuds, Floyd Pink, Marco, Leon, Triple Bay at the back. Leon and Triple Bay with disqualifications, but will be on track for a fabulous sprint race. We definitely need a sprint race here as much as possible. And good to see Chuck Norris in the chat as well. Both Floyd and Chuck Norris have got their correct handles on YouTube for me, which is definitely helping. So we are looking forward to seeing whether any of our drivers can challenge Moist here. And if he were to start near the back or have a problem through the sprint, it would be very interesting to see him start at the back. But this is how things stand. I did chat with him about where the mysterious case of the missing Moist pace through the last race. He said very early on in the race he had contact, picked up damage to the front wing, and then he pitted, and his Aston Martin team did not fit a new wing. And he tried to struggle on, but kind of explaining why he couldn't climb back through the order. It would be very interesting, as Russ indeed says, and it's kind of what I was alluding to, but in real life, whoever sets the identical time first should get the nod ahead of the other driver. But what's most important to say here is that, of course, with one-shot quali, they effectively cross the line at the same time. It's crazy. So I guess there'd be some sort of quali countback, but of course that this doesn't actually apply to being able to code this in any kind of realistic sense. It's probably alphabetical, frankly. So proper weird. Response says, what if they ghost in real life? I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Is that to get the identical times? Flip a coin? Yes, absolutely. Well, we will see. We're waiting for everybody to hit the OK button. We shouldn't really be having a break right now. We should be straight into the sprint. But the team's getting their tyre strategies sorted out. And we'll be ready to go. I keep having these long periods where I'm kind of considering, do I do the standings? But I know that as soon as I take my eyes away to find the standings, we will go straight into the action. So I don't want to do that. Rock, paper, scissors from the cockpit through the halo. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Or a donut challenge, I think, would be even cooler. But we will see. Yeah, do a lap of Monza and see how many drift points you can pick up. What I would love to see in sim racing is the kind of things that we can't do anymore because they're too dangerous on track racing. And I think the Monza circuit absolutely lends itself to this. If we could do the alternating oval circuit and road circuit around the parkland of Monza, that would be absolutely awesome. We're getting ready, though, for the formation lap, and we'll be underway very shortly. We'll wait for the tyre selections here. It is a toss-up between the soft and the mediums. Sprint race is usually just on the edge of the sprint race length in terms of deck. So sometimes the soft runners in a sprint race do have to do a bit of management. It may not be quite as much a big deal if we had, given that we're at Monza, there's a lot of time not spent cornering on this lap, but still, they will still be just a little bit cautious here and a complete mix-up as to the tyre strategies. No pit stops, just a reminder for anybody new to sprint racing, no mandatory pit stops. So the tyres they start on, unless something terrible happens to the cars, will be the tyres they finish on. And it's just a matter of building the pace if you're on a medium or managing the pace if you're on a soft to get to the end at the fastest possible race distance time, of course. Russ, yeah. Well, you see, what I want to do is rerun the old Grand Prix Legends game, or Grand Prix 4 with mods, and be able to do that kind of thing with the tracks. I think we should do stuff in sim racing we can't do in track racing for the risk, or what have we? Bring back some amazing stuff. And the fact is that the surroundings of the track map has essentially been built for Monza. Especially, and Spa, it wouldn't take a lot to add some old corners, some old configurations. It would be absolutely awesome. A commentator can dream. As the cars weave their way down the back straight here to the Parabolica, tighter apex, longer exit. It is obviously a parabolic turn. It is not a uniform degree of turning. But the drivers will be arranging themselves on the grid, and we'll be underway for just 9 laps for the sprint. Then there'll be our customary break for snacks and drinks before we get on for our feature race. Of course, points are awarded for the sprint race here. We'll be hoping to see our drivers. Looks like a good angle, actually, this one, as far as I can see. So let's see. It is 9 laps to go. We're going to get underway for you. We're waiting for those start lights. We will hear them rather than see them if I stick with this camera angle. Here we go. The revs are building. It's time for our penultimate race of the year. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Floyd has got a jump start. One of the Alfa Romeos, that's Ricky Maroon, moving up very quickly, straight up to second position there as the cars barrel down towards the Retta Filio chicane, and it is very cautiously, very steady, very careful and procedural racing all the way through, as the driver's very aware of the dangers that lurk through turn 1 in Monza. They've done a fantastic job to make it through. However, Ricky Moreau moving up with those soft tyres straight onto the pace and trying to then cling onto the coattails of the Maestro Moist in first position and possibly be able to build some speed and build a challenge to our new double champ. It's Ash K in third position. It's Adam Foran down in the McLaren to fourth place. We've got Atsu and Alpha Alex, the Alpine teammates, in fifth and sixth position. We're missing Jaden. We'd love to see Jaden back with us and be able to launch a full campaign through season 3 if at all possible, but it's coming up towards the end of lap 1. It's Moist from Ricky Moreau, from Ash K and for Adam Foran. It's Atsu, Alpha Alex, ARL down in 7th though, but on the medium tyres, so obviously hoping to build his speed towards the end of the race. Here is Adam Foran, tucked up underneath the rear wing, almost touching the diffuser of the Haas. He pulls to the right of the car, tries to find a way down the inside, gets fully alongside, gets slightly ahead with his front axle, but hanging on is Ash K. Atsu goes through down the inside and manages to clear Adam Foran, and that was some sneaky work by Atsu round the outside of Curva Grande and looking for the inside line down into the Roggia chicane. Adam Foran is right there as well, as they're going to go 3 wide into a turn that at most manages to, and it's Adam Foran who loses out, just clung onto that too long and has dropped down to 10th position, right down towards the back of the grid now, as Sticky, Floyd Pink and Triple Bay's actually in the pits. Triple Bay, so that is a surprise to see him down in the pits already. We weren't expecting any pit stops at all. Here is Atsu versus Alpha Alex as they run side by side into Ascari. Come on, Alpine. Boys, let's not make a massive mistake. And it's Atsu who ends up having to go into the gravel on the infield of Ascari. Marco is catching this group, but essentially Atsu down to 8th from battling for 4th position. Just getting a little bit greedy on the way into Ascari. And Ascari doing Ascari things. Moist picks up, of course, the fastest lap then out at the front of the field. But, of course, he won't have the benefit of any DRS to make progress forward. ARL has managed to make it up to 5th position now as the drivers get closer and closer under the braking concertina effect into the Rettifilio. And we cycle through. We've got Aston Martin's bookending our grid at the moment. Triple Bay, obviously, with a problem, or really didn't like the tyres he started on. But I would have thought it's probably more likely to be a problem that has caused an unscheduled pit stop. Triple Bay down in 13th position with a lot of work to do, and that's a horrible feeling knowing that your whatever finishing position you finish here, you're going to take and carry through to the main Grand Prix. Of course, we're using 2023 rules, not 2024 rules at the moment, so there is no separate qualifying for the Grand Prix. The sprint is a sprint quali, essentially, for the Grand Prix, so the finishing order will be the starting order of the Grand Prix coming. Moist is in the lead by 0.6 of a second, and actually only 0.6 of a second, as here is Ricky Moreau going through the Parabolica corner and trying then to make use of the DRS, which will be enabled now, and Moist has not been able to stretch away. It looks like Ricky Moreau has been able to pick up a distant but significant tow on the back of that Aston Martin. You can see the overspeed he's already got, as Adam Foran now back on the hunt has brought that medium tyre shod McLaren up to the fastest lap of the race so far. Fantastic work from him. Ash K just leads Alpha Alex, but Alpha Alex has dropped down and dropped a position there to ARL, who's in 4th place. It's fastest lap for Sticky on a 21.7, again on the medium tyres. And these cars will be short fueled just to come home on fumes at the end of the 9-lap sprint. Speedy Spud has moved up to 5th position as well, and from basically nowhere earlier on. Triple Bay would now with the fastest, a 20.798 on new soft tyres, as Alpha Alex and Leon, runs through the Lesmos side by side. Alpha Alex has managed to get ahead, but does that hand a DRS advantage over to Leon as they come down towards the Ascari corner? This is all about stealing a little bit, but not too much of each apex. And Leon right on the outside of Ascari. That would have been a code brown in the cockpit. Let's head up to the front, though, because Ricky Moreau has got to within 1/3 of a second here. And he did have some good top speed on the previous lap. DRS is open. This is going to be easy change for the lead. It's the start of lap 5, and Ricky Moreau from 4th on the grid moves all the way up to the front position here in our sprint. ARL moves past Ash K as well using the DRS, so he's up towards the front onto the provisional podium. But Ricky Moreau, he'll be gunning for a high placing in this championship, no doubt, because he joined late, but he's hoping to make the most of the lack of some of the other front runners. I'm talking about the likes of Adam Kay, of Ollie, who we send our best wishes to. Ollie, who has had a terrible accident and I'm sure will not be driving for a fair while, based on the pictures of the plaster cast on both arms I saw, and we wish him well and hope that he gets well soon. To Ollie, but Moist then is hanging on here to Ricky Moreau. Fantastic battle between the two, and Moist got airborne through Ascari. That would have lost him a significant chunk of time. I'm thinking about half a second that cost him on the second apex of Ascari, and it could have cost him some floor damage as well. That car did launch all the way up into the air. Fantastic control from him to wrest control after making that tiny error. But that might cost him the chance to bid for the lead again towards turn 1 as we head down to Rettifilio, and he's nowhere near battling. Ash K just moving around. Esports, F1 Esports Sim Racing World Championship recently was that if you do overheat your engine, at least at those drivers' levels, you lose top speed later on in the race. So it is about just managing the temperature, and sometimes running behind one another is not advisable. The McLarens have gone side by side and managed to deal with this one fairly amicably, as suddenly into ghosted mode goes Adam Foran for a second there. I don't know if he was just checking his race director menu, but that's a dangerous game when you've just made an overtake. Just in front of them, Speedy Spud is trying to hold off the charging Atsu, who goes to the outside on the approach underneath the old circuit on the approach down to Ascari. He's got the job done already, using a little bit of ERS though, I'm sure, to get that kind of performance differential on the way through. Moist is within half a second as they head towards Parabolica. Might be about to do the same back to Ricky Moreau. Now he's probably just about within range here, but Ricky Moreau will see him coming. Potentially, if he's got it to spare, use the ERS to add some top speed on the way down and just discourage a move here from Moist. He moves to the inside, and Ricky Moreau isn't buying any of that whatever strike Moist is trying to sell. And likewise, ARL has a little look through past as Adam Foran goes wheel to wheel, sidewall to sidewall contact with Speedy Spud. And Foran up to 6th position now on the comeback because of that early incident into the Della Roggia chicane, trying to go 3 wide and doing a bit of a Vettel on the inside there and spinning the car, unfortunately making contact with the rear axle, and Adam Foran spinning out and down the order. Here comes Atsu into the Lesmo 1, and that's tough. And in fact, it's so tough that he smashed the car, smashed an end plate off the front wing. He's collected Leon. Unfortunately, Leon as well now out of the race, has DNF'd, I think, as part of the same incident. Unfortunately, Atsu tried to go down the inside into Lesmo, lost the car entirely, and that was curtains then for Leon's race. And he drops down now. He'll finish last and start last for the Grand Prix if Triple Bay ever stops pitting. And it's Strike Moist then trying on the hunt now, underneath half a second. He might have enough here using the slipstream, but he's actually cooling the engine here, and he's saving himself. You can see not really using the overtake button, and if his steering wheel is to be believed, he's saving it for the last main run, which is coming up. Of course, at the end of lap 8, start of lap 9 will be the last run down the start-finish line that you can really gun for the win. It's possible out of the Parabolica on the final lap, but you don't really want to leave it that late. Ricky Maru will just join him and see what kind of ERS deployment he's got left, and it's a full battery as well. So a little bit of awesome gamesmanship between the two here as they're on lap 8. They've got a lap and a half to go. I'll join the cars behind them and just run through Ash K. ARL has lost out to Ash K, but will probably prefer to be the hunter through down the final trip, down the start-finish straights, full length. Adam Foran is in 6th, Speedy Spud in 7th. Then a bit of a gap then to Marco, who's showing well. Could pick up a championship point here, Marco, for Williams. Atsu down in 9th. Floyd Pink Sticky, triple bait. But back up to the battle at the front as they head down towards Parabolica. The gap is 0.4 of a second, 3.5 of a second, and that is well within range then for Moist. We'll see how much and to what degree Ricky Maru drains the battery on the way out. I would love to see the light do something to show us, but you can see mashing the ERS deployment. It is dropping down to halfway here for Strike. Moist, who is forced to the outside by Ricky Maru, who picks the middle lane on the way into the Retafilio. I'm assuming Ricky Maru has saved a little bit of battery. He's saved quite a lot of battery, in fact, as well. The battle here for the sprint race victory. Ricky won't exactly want Moist to wipe him out. Moist can afford to wipe anybody out now because he's got the championship sewn up. Ricky is trying to secure 2nd place in the championship, I'm sure, here, and the Constructors' Championship for the Alfa Romeo team. Looks like Alfa Alex and ARL have swapped positions down for 4th and 5th respectively. But here is the battle for the lead as they come through the Lesmos. That was a correction from Ricky Maru. The long run then down towards Ascari. Who has saved enough performance here, and Ricky takes the middle line once again, blocks the inside move. Oh, that was a bit of server lag, at least on my end. Strike Moist launches the car, picks up a 3-second penalty. It's all over. It's curtains for Moist's battle here for the win with that 3-second penalty. He'll be glad that he's got a decent gap over the car in front. Again, though, second apex of Ascari undid Moist challenge. Ricky Maru will come through to pick up the sprint victory and the gold medal for his work today. Ricky Maru picks up not only first position in the sprint, but pole position for the main race, for the feature race. Alpha Alex finishes just ahead of Ash K, and ARL is right there in 5th. Adam Foran crosses the line in 6th position. We've got Speedy Spud in 7th. Marco, that's great for Marco to pick up a World Championship point in 8th. Atsu, I think, is driving without a front wing end plate, and you can afford to do that in Monza, and finishes 9th. Floyd Pink will come through for 10th place, and a 10th place start, of course, for the Grand Prix. Sticky in 11th. Not quite sure what happened to Sticky's race. Triple Bay has had an eventful race here for Aston Martin. But all the plaudits go to Ricky Maru for that sprint race victory. Respond is already in with the GGs for him, which is very kind indeed. That's the end of the sprint race. I'll give you a time update as soon as I've got it for the feature race to begin, but I will talk to you about the championship situations here. It looks like Floyd Pink and Sticky might have come into contact with one another. VSRL is Adam F. Didn't want to go for the move, but when I realised it was too late, understood. Down 3 wide into Lesmo 1. Into Della Roggia is certainly adventurous. Alpha Alex, driver of the sprint there. So let's talk once we've gone through the final standings. And you can see the points are as they will be awarded. Ricky Maru with 8, and he will start on pole position for our feature race and has the pace to match Moist, it seems, at least over a 9-lap stint. Alpha Alex in 3rd, Ash K in 4th position. We have ARL finishing 5th. Adam Foran down in 6th. He'll be pleased to have rescued a 6th place, I think, and a 6th place start for the Grand Prix after that incident. Speedy Spud in 7th, Marco in 8th, and then outside of the sprint points, Atsu, Floyd Pink, Sticky, Triple Bay did bring the car home in 12th. Leon did not and finished 13th overall. Let's talk then about the championship situation. As I mentioned, Moist has become our 2-time champion now, back-to-back champion. He has 152 points plus 7 after that provisional sprint result. Leon is 2nd on 78. Adam F is 3rd on 77, and Ricky Maru with 71 prior to the sprint race. So that hunt for second place. We are going to be talking about that at length, I'm sure, for the next race and the next week's race as well, the final race of the championship. Jaden has 61 on fifth place. ARL has 58 on sixth place. ARL will certainly be hoping to outscore any of the more part-time drivers that we've had. Sticky is in seventh with 54 points, still very much within a range here of gaining positions. Ole will probably not score again in this series, and he has 52. Adam K, 51, one of our race winners earlier on in the championship. We have Alpha Alex, another race winner, on 43 in 10th place. Then comes Jay on 36, Spud on 34, Ash K on 30, Floyd in 14th on 26 points, Chuck 22, Marco 17, Atsu 15, Triple Bay and Trappy have 6 each, and Malmo and Wessie have 2 each. In our Constructors' Championship, this is where the drivers are definitely super close. 157 for Aston Martin, 155 for McLaren, and it will be even tighter than that now with McLaren double scoring out of the sprint. We've got Alfa Romeo in third on 132. That's almost certain to stay third, I would have thought, because the gap down to Red Bull in fourth is 85 points. Then we've got Haas on 79, Williams on 70, Alpine 58, AlphaTauri 56, Mercedes 48, Scuderia Ferrari at the tail of the championship on just 28 points. Let me give you an update then. We go in 5 minutes time. If you're watching with us live, 5 minutes time, I will take a quick voice break. For that, you go ahead and get some snacks, but don't be any more than 4 minutes from this point, and we'll get the formation lap for the Grand Prix. We'll see you in just a few minutes time. Sorry, folks. Too many drivers clicked to move forward as Russ is getting his popcorn. Absolutely. Too many drivers clicked forward. We will, obviously, everybody will have to leave and we will restart the lobby. So someone will get penalised for that one because, honestly, it's not on, is it? New lobby will be, so don't panic. Sorry, we haven't ended anything. We'll be back in a moment. Apologies, everyone, if you're waiting. Thanks for joining us for the coverage tonight. We'll be have had to make a custom grid thanks to that snafu by I think it's safe to tell you it's Ash K who has owned up, put his hand up to accidentally pressing the wrong button on his steering wheel. So we will hopefully be underway for you shortly. Just takes a little bit longer here for our host to set up a custom grid, but the Grand Prix will be with you very soon. Well, finally, we're underway for our Grand Prix countdown. We'll be straight into the paddock and then, of course, into the formation lap. I'm assuming, although sometimes that can get knocked off if we're ready. Hopefully, the drivers have made their setups and they've been honest in fitting the same setups that they have put on for the sprint and haven't made any little adjustments sneakily. It's very difficult for us to tell, of course, so hopefully we'll see. I'm not sure that anyone is transmitting live telemetry. Something I would love to have as a commentator would be full telemetry breakdown. I've had it before in leagues. It's costly, but it's amazing because you can tell absolutely everything that's going on with the car and the tyre condition and which tyre is more limited and all sorts. But it's costly and it's quite a drag to try and organise. No pun intended. Countdown complete. We are on track. Hopefully the drivers have put their setups on. They're ready to go. And still bright sunshine, warm temperatures, I'm sure. Although, again, as a spectator, you're not privy to weather conditions, which you absolutely should be. Come on, EA. I want helicopter camera on demand. I want static cameras on demand so I can just choose where the camera is going to be rather than following a driver. Oh, my wish list is huge. But I shall keep dreaming. We are waiting then for the players to hit go. So hopefully the formation lap will begin for our fantastic Grand Prix here, the Italian Grand Prix. This is the penultimate round, so the season finale will be this time next week. And we're looking forward to that. Imagine there will be a short mid-season interval, but the final week is Shanghai to come next week, so I look forward to that. It's always a good place to go racing, really do enjoy it. We've had a reminder for our everything to be, all the setups to be sorted. Need to remind people to actually press advance now, whatever button that is on their controller, because we are a cross-play. We do have PC drivers, Xbox drivers and PS5 drivers driving together here on a shared server. So hoping, or a shared server connection, I should say. This is not LAN. But just waiting then for everybody. Come on, guys. We're going to be really late here if we want to get underway. But it'll be low. It's not exactly a huge challenge. Your setup choice for Monza, it's minimal or zero wing on front and back to try and get that all-important top speed. And of course, don't need to worry about qualifying setups. AJ is expecting fireworks, I think, but trying to keep it cool down into the Rettifilio for the first time. Turn 1 was very, very well behaved in the sprint. Does that mean people are going to push harder in the Grand Prix? Well, probably, but hopefully we'll navigate that without too many incidents and accidents, and nobody decides to go bowling down into that first corner. What are we waiting for, fellas? Come on, let's go. We're getting older by the second here. Welcome if you're just joining us. It's tremendous timing if you are just tuning in. It'd be great to enjoy with you. If you haven't said anything yet to introduce yourself or tell us that you're watching, do so now. Ricky Maru, thanks to that awesome performance in the sprint race, will lead us away, of course. And he has chosen the medium tyres. Moist has gone for the hard tyres, as Respond is aging more than the most of us, it seems. And I've forgotten which buttons I need to press. Ricky Maru is ahead. It's difficult because I was just commentating on Gran Turismo 7 and it's completely different controls as a spectator, so a little bit tricky. Ricky Maru on the medium. Strike Moist and Alpha Alex have gone for the hard tyres. Ash K should have a good launch, but some tricky tyre deck to manage on the soft tyres. The only driver on the soft tyres is Ash K down there in that fourth position. He's got his teammate on hard tyres directly behind him, so he probably won't be worried about being jumped at the start here, and the Haas drivers should probably play nice here at the start of the race for their own benefit. Adam Foran in 6th, gunning for 2nd place in the championship, so needs to move forward really. Speedy Spud isn't very speedy on the formation lap. He's taking it very slow, and he's in 7th on the mediums. Marco and Atsu likewise, and then comes Floyd Pink, Sticky, Triple Bay, and Leon. Ash K, I think, should have started at the back, but I think he'll just have a time penalty for hitting advance too early. Moist is deciding to hold up the field here and let Ricky Maru sit on the start-finish line. Thanks to Ricky Maru's speed, it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. And I don't know if all the drivers here are aware, but the esports drivers don't do a lot of weaving on the formation lap or on the preparation lap in quali. They don't tend to do formation laps, but they just drag the brake to generate tyre temperature. So it might be something to integrate into your formation lap protocol, to just drag the brake as you head. What is that McLaren up to? Adam Freund's going to slam on the brakes. He's launched up into 2nd place, making a statement there, I think, but has positioned himself just A-OK for the start of the race. We will try and hang out with a decent camera angle. That one's pretty good, isn't it? And we'll see everybody's respective launch. It looks like that Red Bull of Speedy Spud is pointing directly into the middle of the circuit, or even to the pit lane exit as we get ready. Leon's been disqualified for misplacing the car, but we'll be on our way then. 27 laps await us, 3 times the length of our sprint race, and we look forward to the Grand Prix at Monza then. And it's dropped the clutch and go, go, go. And it's Ricky Maru crawling away from the start slightly, but actually Moist gets bogged down on the hard tyres straight away. Alpha Alex has had a really good start, but look at Ash K coming down the inside there on the soft tyres, holding off his teammate. He's going to try and benefit here from the Alpine and the Aston Martin in front of him going side by side. Is there room for all 3 of them through the Curva Grande? Now, it didn't work out. The last time we had this, there's contact between the 2 wheels there, front of the Alpine, rear of the Haas. They've both led off so that they're not challenging Moist, and Ash K's jumped up to 3rd position. was some good sporting behaviour from both of them to hold their position on track and not spear each other off. So they've managed to settle in. Ricky Maru, Moist, Ash K, Alpha Alex, Adam Foran. ARL's dropped down to 6th, but he's on the hard tyres, so it's to be expected. He'll now try and hold on to that 6th place for this next couple of laps, but Speedy Spud is right with him behind. Moist is 7/10 of a second away from Ricky Maru, who got a tremendous start once again, and he's really enjoyed the starts here on the grid today. 4th place to 1st in the sprint. Here comes Adam Foran down the inside of the Alpine Alpha Alex, and Adam Foran, mediums versus hards, but makes the move before they head down the start-finish straight for the first time at full speed. Ricky Maru, of course, with the natural fastest lap straight out of the box. Alpha Alex gaining on the McLaren slightly, but won't quite have the tyres on the brakes, so probably won't get too adventurous down into turn 1. ARL was trying to defend there, but he's lost out to both Speedy Spud and Atsu. ARL down to 8th place, and Ash K now on the hunt to try and get to the back of Moist, not let Moist get away, and potentially even go for that 2nd position, because Moist is trying to bring those hard tyres in. Ash K has a tremendous advantage and should get a good launch. He should get a good sequence through Ascari and a good launch out of Parabolica, thanks to the added grip delivered early on in the stint here with the soft tyres, as you would absolutely expect. So here we go. He's dropped a little bit of time here to Moist. Needs to gain some through Ascari. Moist might be a little bit nervous through Ascari, thanks to his 2 quite adventurous launches that picked him up that 3-second penalty, and potentially getting close to floor damage on the way through Ascari twice through the sprint race. Moist will be a little bit circumspect through there, I think, for the race. It looks like Ash K looking for a slow in, fast out route, but it's just slow in, slow out, it seems, for compared to Adam Foran on the medium tyres, who's got those up to temperature nicely. The mediums and soft might be a relatively equal performance here today at this stage of the race, and neither driver able to actually launch a move, but DRS has been enabled for the Grand Prix now, until such time as we get any kind of caution period. Looks like Triple Bay has had a problem again, unless he's decided to pit. Yeah, he has pitted early, and he just looks to be running through the tyres to try and get fastest lap, I think he was saying in the driver chat, with very little for the constructors total. McLaren in 4th and 10th positions might be Martin title lead at the moment as we head into the final race of the season next week. Underneath the old circuit, down towards the Ascari, and it looks like Ash K, is he going for that move? Almost went for it, but he didn't quite complete it on the inside on the way through into Ascari. Ash K right up behind Moist here with the soft tyres. He goes to the inside line, looking for the gap down the inside. Adam Foran's going to try and follow him through, is he? Because the gap will be open to Adam Foran, and he'll get a tremendous exit following the car of the Haas as well. Some great swapping round of positions. Adam Foran looking to draw level here with Ash K. There's got the DRS open. Ash K, of course, ended up giving up the DRS to the McLaren, and that works out beautifully for Adam Foran, who, as I said, is gunning for that 2nd place in the championship. He's on the medium tyres. Ash K, though, needs to use Adam Foran to get away from Moist, and then make it a 2-horse race here for 2nd position. But Ricky Maru is absolutely flying away here. What pace he has in Monza today has been tremendous, and Ricky is on top again after some great performances this season. A little bit of inconsistency at the midpoint, but he's really coming good towards the end of our season. Maybe the circuits suit him, maybe he's putting in the work throughout the course of this season better than the other drivers. I know it's a tricky time of year for many of our sim racers, is the run through May and June, but hopefully Ricky is also organising an amazing end of Formula 1 2023 game celebration come funeral, and we're going to enjoy the League of Destruction. I'm sure you can get in touch with Ricky and find out how to get involved in that in the final weekend before F1 24 is released. If you can't find Ricky, you can also ask me and join my Discord, and I'll point you in the right direction. I've also tweeted about it at WeberRed5. Here comes Ash K going down for the inside line on Adam Foran, but he doesn't quite have the overspeed or maybe the confidence on the brakes at this stage. 4 laps deep into his soft run, and we saw that potentially they were running out of tyres and soft tyres around lap 9 of the sprint at the end, and of course the cars will be heavier with fuel, 3 times heavier with fuel for the three-time length Grand Prix compared to the sprint. So Ricky, his gap is 2.2 seconds now, so Ash K will have DRS, Adam Foran will not. As we run through the Lesmos, it has been very well behaved from the drivers so far. Just Triple Bay, who's off the snake of the lead bunch here, but he has pitted already. He's going for a huge undercut. That was wide for Ash K. Atsu has had a problem. Where is Atsu? He's binned it on the exit of Ascari. Well, that might be unkind, but he certainly lost the car and lost the race on the exit of Ascari. There is your safety car. Has it come in time for our lead runners to decide to pit? Well, Ricky Maru has not pitted because he's only just into his medium stint. But of course, that hands the impetus to everybody following. So Ricky is only 5 laps deep into his medium tyre run. And just about, it looks like every other driver will come through. Maybe Triple Bay will decide to do the same as Ricky and gain some track position here. But Triple Bay has been quite a big fan of using that pit lane already. And he's actually too far back, really, I think, under safety car delta situation to actually make use of saving a pit stop. So I don't think it's actually going to buy him anything here, unless some cars are having to queue behind their teammate. So, well, he decides to go for it. He might overhit the delta here to then have to brake heavy. He's gaining he's gaining a position. He's going to have to slam on the brakes here. He's gained 2 positions, one against Floyd, one against Marco. And that is where he finds himself then. And on older tyres than everybody else. ARL has committed to a soft tyre middle stint now. But will almost certainly have to pit again. Speedy Spud and Moist are in good position here. They will not have to pit again, and maybe some of the new medium runners will not have to pit either, but it will certainly be a conservation run for them. To run some 20 laps on the medium tyre will be adventurous, albeit that the car will be getting lighter. These laps under the safety car will help quite a large amount, because it will put some heat, but nothing like a full lap's worth of deg through the tyres. So running round Parabolica then, we have our safety car. I wonder what your predictions are going to be for the podium. I didn't ask before the race, but if you're watching with us live, drop your podium predictions in the chat. And how many more safety cars are we likely to see here today? It's lap 7 of 27, and I'm hoping no more safety cars, quite frankly. Atsu says, just unreal. What happened, Atsu, through Ascari? Did you fall or were you pushed into the exit of the final part of Ascari? We'd love to hear some detail, if you can, live while we're watching. But Ricky Maru, he's had his lead cut. It was just a lost rear end then on the way through that tricky corner. You're in good company, Atsu, but that would be cold comfort right now. Had a date with the wall, yeah. Decided to make that date. It is Ricky Maroon from Adam Foran from Ash K. Ricky on old medium tyres, though, and could well be struggling on the restart. Does it make him think about a pit stop? I wonder. He will lose every track position if he were to pit now. But he knows he's got the speed to move forward in the race. If he fancied some hard tyres, potentially, he could let everybody have their own problems for a little while on the restart and potentially move forward. There's plenty of time. 20 laps will be probably 19 racing laps by the time the safety car is done. Oh, well, the safety car's coming in early, which is great for us watching live. So Ricky will be the de facto safety car here. That's the Tricolore on the back wing of the Alfa Romeo, of course. Short-lived, but nice while it lasted. The Alfa Romeo identity in Formula 1. Now, of course, we're going to have the lime green and black of Kick, followed by whatever Audi decide. And let's hope it's better than the Audi Apt Cupra situation that the Formula E colour scheme used to be. That was appalling. Here we go then, Ricky Moreau diving into the Parabolica corner, hoping to lean on the left axle here, the left side of the car, excuse me, and try and hold off the resurgent Adam Foran. Adam Foran has a good advantage here with the slipstream. Ricky picking the middle lane very, very smartly into the first corner. And actually, Ricky going that early has helped the rest of the grid to come through and survive this early restart. That looks like Leon drawing alongside Sticky. So Leon moves up to 8th position, both on the medium tyres. ARL, like I say, on 2-lap-old, safety car distance aged soft tyres. Also with Marco there, has put the soft tyres on as well. So ARL in 7th position now needs to move forward fast while he's got the tyre advantage. And then, of course, we'll have to pit again at the end. Here is Adam Foran up against Ricky Moreau. He's got the outside lane on the way towards Ascari, so Ricky can brake late, but no, he's dropped the lead. Ricky down to 2nd place now. Adam Foran will try to put the gap on here because Ash K has a great exit out of Ascari. Ricky pulls to the right-hand side to try and close off the avenue of overtake down into the Parabolica, but it's no good. Using the ERS, I think, to get the nose ahead. Moist has gone through as well. Ricky is really struggling here to hold off these resurgent cars on the newer tyres, and unfortunately he had the first opportunity to pit. He can't say he didn't have that chance, but he's gone for it early on. Here comes Moist down the inside of Ash K now, but it's just that what's the word? I've completely lost my vocabulary for a second. It's a forced perspective when you see the car coming towards you. It's an optical illusion. They look like they're fully alongside, but they're not quite. Ash K is in 2nd place. Moist in 3rd then, and just gapping Ricky here on the older tyres. Now, that difference will minimise soon, but Ricky did give up the chance to use the pit lane early doors. And he's going to struggle now. Depends how deep he can go with those medium tyres into the race. He'll hope to have some pace later on the softs, but he may end up going on to hard soon if he has to pit soon enough. The top 3 now is Adam Foran from 7/10 of a second away from Ash K, and then Moist right with him, our new double champion, the Maestro Moist, who is has been unstoppable with his consistency, if not necessarily unstoppable on the top step of the podium as he was in season 1. He's had it harder. It's been a tougher journey for him this season, but he's still secured the championship with 2 races to go in a short championship as well. So that's at 80% distance of the championship, he's still secured it, which is no mean feat. Ricky Moreau is in 4th place, and it looks like he's just got his pace equalised now with the leaders, and he can try and rely on that slight pace advantage he had earlier on, and hopefully the pace advantage he will have later on in the race. He'll look for the next safety car opportunity, and depending on when that comes will depend on what tyre choice he makes. He will hope not anytime soon, or if at all, for the safety car, because he would not like to be running medium hard as a strategy. The medium tyre, the longer you can stay on that medium tyre as a percentage of the race distance, the better, frankly, around Monza. Looks like we've got a clipping car. It's Ash K, who is already used up more than 90% of his battery here. So Moist will see that. It's like blood in the water to a shark as double champ Moist follows the Haas down towards the first turn. We've got a penalty on the board there for triple bait. You can see the car just washing out slightly on Moist there. The understeer just took effect mid-corner. Looks like Ricky Moreau has Alpha Alex right with him. Alpha Alex on the way out. That's right, out of Parabolica. Got the move done. Such is the tyre advantage still. There is Moist going for the move and succeeding with the move down into the Rettifilio. We've got a move coming further back as well. ARL's been fairly quiet so far tonight. We were kind of expecting a bit more from him, especially on the soft tyres, or starting on the hards, that he would wait and bide his time to bring his pace later. But it's maybe just keeping everything, keeping fuel for the end of the race, keeping battery. And we'll see him at the front later on, as we often do. But Ash K is third. Sponsored rear wing of Moist. I don't know why I'm giving Aramco anything here. I'd rather not. But anyway, now it's reverse fortunes, because it is Moist with the flashing red light on the back of the car. The Haas does not have a flashing light. So the Haas has, well, there he is. He only had a percent or two of an advantage, and maybe it's Alpha Alex who's got the advantage now. Let's ride with Alpha Alex and see what happens here. He's got plenty of battery to fight with here. He's using a little bit of it, as you can see the green line on his steering wheel, giving him the advantage. Look at the overspeed of the Alpine as he goes for the inside gap. Moist hangs on here. Oh, and Moist could do nothing there but to run effectively Alpha Alex out because of the line he chose. But Alpha Alex that won't be any comfort to Alpha Alex. He won't be impressed. Moist running him off the circuit effectively. I don't think deliberately, but Ricky Maru got past Alpha Alex there, as he is trying to get his lead back. It will be a shame if Ricky can't vie for the top step of the podium tonight, thanks to a safety car. But them's the brakes, quite frankly, sometimes. And Strike Moist on the hard tyres, battled hard, maybe too hard. Certainly was too fast into turn 2 of the Rettifilio. But now he's using the battery again and has got ahead into second place. So he may be now thinking, actually, I'm now in danger of a penalty. I better get on with it and get away from these guys. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all in a line. It's Moist, Ash K, Ricky Maru, Alex. Even ARL is right there as well in 6th place in a whole long line of cars. But they are 2.4 seconds away from Adam Foran. There is a penalty on Moist's car. It's a 3-second penalty, presumably for repeated track limits abuse. I didn't see it pop up after that trip through the Rettifilio last time. Here goes Ricky Maru on the ascendancy. Oh, Ricky has made a huge error. Has made contact, I think, with somebody, or at least bailed, braked way too late. Looks like the car is intact. Picked up a penalty. Moist, though, picked up a 5-second penalty for missing the corner. It may have been a miscalculation for Moist. It may have been contact. Didn't quite see what happened. The camera cut just as it looked like Ricky Maru lost the car down into the Rettifilio. Something caught him by surprise. Moist then down into second place, but with an 8-second gap. 8-second penalty on top of that. Ash K with a 3-second penalty in third. Alpha Alex and ARL still very much within a shout of the podium. But what has happened to Ricky? He's been given 20 seconds of penalties. I don't quite believe that. And you may take that with a pinch of salt. The drivers might look to try and get that minimised or reduced. Both Moist and Ricky might decide that that is worth an appeal to the stewards. I really don't know what happened. I don't know if you're watching live, you might be able to replay and get an idea for what happened to Ricky. Did someone hit him? Well, Moist goes into the pits. Moist pits, and that is surely ahead of schedule because I was not expecting a pit stop this early, but he will think that the medium tyres can go to the end. There's no front wing going on that car. What about Ricky? I didn't see a front wing on his car either. He will rejoin, but actually, is Moist was receiving a lot of attention there in the pits, so maybe he did have a front wing change or a setup change potentially, but it looks like he perhaps was looking to get something repaired in the pits. Maybe he was hit from behind, but he and Triple Bay going on to 11th and 12th, and as the championship leaders, that is huge for later on. I will have to call it as I see it in the race and correct myself next week if that's what it comes to. If the drivers get any penalties removed. But for now, at least, Adam Foran and Alpha Alex and ARL are in the pound seats here for the podium. Look at Adam Foran's gap, 3.8 seconds in the lead. Really, it's his to lose now, and it's just about keeping his focus and hoping that a safety car doesn't eventuate for the second time tonight. ARL is close to his teammate. His teammate is close to Alpha Alex in front as well. Let's join Ash K on board then. Very little battery remaining on Ash K's steering wheel, at least. He looks to dive bomb, potentially. He's getting very close, but it wasn't quite on for him. Some might consider that a viable distance to go for the move, if you're brave. Speeding in the pit lane for Marco, is that a precursor to a potential retirement or just a mistake? He has reached the end of his soft tyre life, as I would expect has ARL now, and Ash K is still all over the back of Alpha Alex's Alpine and looking for a way through. Ash K really needs to gap Alpha Alex here with the penalty on board. Alpha Alex steps right out onto the protective surface outside of the Lesmo 1. So not what he was looking for from an ideal line perspective. Here is Ash K down the inside into Ascari and using the DRS, using the ERS to good effect. And he will now go on the hunt for the lead driver to try and pick up his DRS and get ahead of this group. At least try and build a gap now worthy of the penalty applied to the car. You might want the penalties to be discounted and assume that they will be, but they won't always be. Case in point, I think from what I'm reading, ARL getting out of everybody's way in the previous race. Let's just talk about this for a second as Alpha Alex comes straight back to Ash K. And if they do do-si-do around each other and DRS their way in a chain, lap after lap, they will go faster than Adam Foran, potentially on pace. Of course, identical car performance on these cars, so they should go faster if they can negotiate using DRS to good effect. But it's all too easy to go offline, to run side by side like this. Look at ARL, who will try and go through, but there's no grip on the inside exit of the Della Roggia chicane, and this is absolutely not doing what I'm talking about. This is not working together through the DRS zones to try and catch the leader. This is costing yourselves a chance at the win, quite frankly. We have a yellow flag for a second there, and that looked like it was Triple Bay going through the Rettifilio. As Ash K holds on for now. Triple Bay has retired from the race on the exit of Curva Grande, and it's a second safety car. Adam Foran will be absolutely gutted to see that safety car. It's a good time for his tyres, potentially. Certainly the window is open for anyone fitting mediums to the end now. This will be a nice reset for our race, but that's pretty tough. Oh, and Ash K picks up a penalty. That is unforgivable from your own perspective there, to enter the pits under the safety car Delta with no threat of an overtake and end up picking up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is tough and difficult to take for sure. It will be absolutely gutting. Ricky Maru does use the pit lane this time and comes in off the hard tyres, so he will, presumably everybody now will fit mediums in the hope they will reach the end of the race. Triple Bay and Atsu are retirees. We have 11 runners remaining as everybody except Marco just yet into the pits. Marco will be relieved, I think, to get track position back to catch the rest of the group. Marco. Oh, Marco. Oh, that's gutting. Marco just about to catch everybody and overspeeds on the safety car Delta. Actually may not even get a position, but has picked up a drive-through penalty that he can't pay until the end of the safety car period either. Ash K, 8 seconds of penalties. Leon, 3. Ricky Maru, 20. Looks absolutely unreal for Ricky. That looked like Floyd was struggling through Della Roggia, or maybe just trying to keep it Delta pace there for a moment. 3 seconds for Moist. Very uncharacteristic for Moist to pick up time penalties and be off track and launch the car. You can tell he's being pushed hard. this season, harder than previous. Marco in 10th, Sticky in 11th, but Marco has a drive-through penalty, which I think is converted to a 25-second penalty if you don't pay it, although it's a DSQ if you don't pay for it, and you've got plenty of racing time left to do so. In terms of positions change, let's look at that. 7 up for Leon, 5 up for Adam Foran. Ricky Marou's heart may have sunk there. So Triple Bay in the chat. No, my fault. Didn't get enough practice with medium traction controls because he came off holiday 3 hours ago. Okay, all right. I guess we'll forgive you. We're in holiday mode as Marco, Marco goes for the pit lane, picks up a 5-second penalty on his way in, and he's retired. That's fair enough. Okay, it was a kamikaze pit lane run. So another retiree from the race. Marco is out. What is Sticky up to? Is he just changing tyres, or is he retiring as well? Will we have any drivers left at the end of the race, I wonder? He is putting soft tyres on, and he is back out again, and has not told us of his impending retirement. Yeah, Marco has obviously had enough, and is just doing burnouts at the end of the pit lane. His ghost is. That's not him. It's just something that after, 8 years of the Masters of Coding have been unable to code out of our game. Ghosted retirees coming back on and looking a bit weird on the race. But let's continue our look through here. Floyd Pink has gone up 3 positions, Ash K up 2. Alpha Alex has contrived and wound his way forward and back and ended up back where he started in 3rd position. In 3rd. Ricky Maroon and Moist down 7 each, of course, from the front of the grid. So, tyres. Well, I am surprised to see some drivers try and do this on softs, but there you go. Roll the dice, try and make it to the end. They did 9 laps in the sprint, some of them. So, yeah, I guess 10 laps under lighter fuel conditions is definitely viable. But keep an eye on those gaps. The safety car will come in now. Keep an eye on the penalties to pay. But we will go for the restart late. Actually, that safety car really did not give the McLaren of Adam Foran a chance here much, as he weaves a little and then goes. Advantage to Alpha Alex here potentially, because he just followed what Adam Foran did slightly ahead of the Haas of Ash K in front of him. Down we go into the Rettifilio, and Speedy Spud ahead of Leon. Floyd Pink trying to capitalise. Ricky Marou drops down to 9th place. Unfortunately, Moist almost skipped the corner entirely and is in 10th place down at the back of the grid now. Very strange position for Moist to be in the last 2 races, but that is how things have worked out. Damage, though, does eventuate on these cars and absolutely transforms the handling. It is Adam Foran, 0.8 of a second ahead of Ash K and Alpha Alex. Now, another Alex, or AJ, is ARL in 4th position, 0.3 of a second behind Alpha Alex here. Just making himself known as they head towards Ascari. I don't think Alpha Alex will be spooked too much by that, but the front 4 have already gapped by a second. Speedy Spud will wait for the DRS notification after this safety car restart, and we'll have a roughly 8-lap sprint to the end. Everybody on new tyres, but a real mix of tyre strategy decisions here. And so Alpha Alex looking for the slipstream. Nobody getting too close to one another. At the back, though, there are a few moves. That looks like Ricky Marou up to 7th. Floyd Pink down to 8th now. Oh, it looks like a McLaren has spun. That's Leon. It's Leon down there who has made a mistake through the Rettifilio and has ended up plumb last. Ricky Marou looked like he was being very cautious through the Rettifilio. Maybe he has damage too, but with all those penalties as well, whether he gets his time penalty rescinded or not is going to be academic if he finishes too far back on the race at all. ARL is looking like one of the drivers most likely to launch an attack. I should perhaps have a look at Moist, though, right up behind stalwart of the league, Mr. Floyd Pink here, but the Maestro makes his way through very easily using the DRS on new soft tyres, it has to be said. A soft tyre advantage there over Floyd Pink. Behind him, Sticky, catching, and will have a better run out of Ascari. So Sticky looks for the inside line, gets it down into the Parabolica. Floyd Pink hangs on round the outside. It looked like there was a slight bit of contact from that angle, but it may not have been. Adam Foran is doing his level best to get away from the other drivers here. Ash K is trying to hang on, but he's spent all of his battery since the restart, which basically resets everybody's battery back to 100%. He's already spent loads of it just trying to stay with Adam Foran here. And they're on equal tyres as well. So Adam Foran's pace, once he gets out of battling with other drivers, is right at the top of the order today. Adam Foran leading this race, leading the pursuit of second place in the overall drivers' standings, trying to bring McLaren ahead of Aston Martin in the constructors' standings, and that's looking even better after tonight with Moyes down in 6th and Triple Bay retiring. He'll be hoping Leon can pick himself up from 10th as well to help with the points allocation and addition. Alpha Alex looking like he's got second place at the moment thanks to that penalty on Ash K's car. ARL is now in the resurgency. He's got soft tyres to a finish, and maybe his pace is going to come good at the end of the race as he's driving the MoneyGram Haas car. Can he get tucked up into that slipstream? It'd be a powerful slipstream because it's two cars working the air in front of him, but Alpha Alex looks like he's going to get the inside line, just gets the tail ahead on the approach to the Rettifilio chicane. And on the medium tyres, that's impressive. After only 5 laps worth of wear, well, probably -2 of that, thanks to the safety car. So those soft tyres still should have a slight advantage. Ash K with the penalty then will fall into the clutches of his teammate. Will he move aside for his teammate? Will he help his teammate with the DRS first a little bit, or will he just not even care about his teammate? We'll see, as actually Ash K is pushing very hard indeed. We saw his car flashing. It's still flashing to indicate he's spent all the ERS available to him. So you've got to expect really that it is only a matter of time. Alpha Alex clearly has his sights set on the victory here. ARL, oh, he's just picked up a penalty, and if Ash K was thinking of releasing his teammate, I think he'll think twice about that now, as they're both wearing penalties. Yes, it is 5 seconds fewer on ARL's car, but Ash K won't know that. I don't think Mark or Jeff will tell him. Well, here comes ARL to make it academic. Anyway, using the DRS, he's got a little bit of additional battery deployment as well. Use the ERS to try and get himself close enough to Alpha Alex here on this lap to boost themselves forward. Leon's retired. Leon has retired in the pits. Oh, thankfully. Otherwise, we were going for safety car number 3. Leon's decided, down from 10th place and a valuable World Championship point, that it's not worth continuing to run. I question that. I'm not sure that Andrea Stella, that Zach Brown will be very impressed with that attitude. If a World Championship point is on the offering, oh, Ash K has just held that one. That was a huge moment for Ash K going through the Lesmos, and you can see how hard he's working to keep that car in one piece. I wonder, is he also carrying a little bit of floor damage as he overworked the curbs here? Has he picked up some contact at the rear of the car in the diffuser? What a hold there from Ash K through the Lesmos. We've already seen a driver come unstuck in the Lesmos tonight already. Here is Moist in 7th. Ricky Maru has managed to move forward here. I've missed all of that, Ricky Maru's resurgence. He and Moist really were the pace of the field through the first, well, certainly the 9 laps of the sprint, the first 5 or 6 of the main race. Unfortunately, though, some incidents that may have been the same incident, or at least happened at the same time, down here into this corner, resulted in actually prohibitive penalty being handed to Ricky Maru, who, like Adam Foran, is trying to get second place in this championship. Sticky has found his way to the back of those two as well. Be learning a thing or two about how to run quickly around this racetrack following Moist and Ricky Maru today. Will Sticky just watching their lines, hoping to stay with them. Ricky is trying to close on Speedy Spud and bring himself and accept the fact that Moist is going to follow him, but bring himself into P5 here against Speedy Spud on the road at least. I think that Ricky picked up those 20 seconds in one go. So if he can argue that against the stewards, he'll finish exactly where he does on the road. ARL, 3 seconds of penalties. Will finish with no problem ahead of Ash K, who's now on 11 seconds. That is a 5 second and 3 seconds that he's accrued to get there. Alpha Alex is 1.8 seconds away from Adam Foran. That's an intriguing battle with 3 racing laps to go. It is Adam Foran against Alex, but track we're watching a very close battle here. Ash K in 4th, ARL in up the road from this group, but Ash K, Speedy Spud in the Red Bull. The Alfa Romeo is Ricky Maru. Strike Moist is in 7th. And that is the group that are looking like they will either successfully overtake or have an incident here. They'll certainly be piling on the pressure. It's lap 25 of 27. This is the Grand Prix following the sprint. One more race meet to come next week in China for the end of our 2nd season. What a season we have had. I'd love to hear next week of your favourite moments, and if you would like to clip them, do so for on the channel, and we'll talk about them if you do that midweek. Moist then P7, super close here to Ricky Maru, but he's clipping. Ricky Maru looked like his light was flashing. Speedy Spud looked like his light was flashing. They're trying to get ahead of one another on the way through into Parabolica. Usually drivers are pretty shy of doing that because of the advantage of using the DRS detection line, but Ricky Maru gets ahead. He gets tucked up behind the Haas. He's forced to the outside, but Speedy Spud, with a choice of an open track to the right and a tight blindside on the inside, goes to the tighter side there. Ricky Maru bosses the Rettifilio with confidence, gets ahead of both of them, and his now job obviously is to move away from these battles. Moist against Ash K now, side by side. Moist on the outside round Curva Grande will have a good line if he can stay level at least on the way into the next corner, which is the Della Roggia, but he's overcooked it again. Too much speed at the first part of a chicane has undone Moist twice today, and now he's picked up a 3-second penalty. Unfortunately, that car is just not handling down to the apexes of these slow corners for him. And that is about having very low drag setup, which also means low stopping performance and turn into the corners. So just adapting to that has been a little bit of a problem, but it does buy him some top speed as well. So I imagine he's on 0 wings by the look of things for Moist. Here is Sticky going for it as well. Speedy Spud is right with Ricky Maru, but this looked like it was about to turn into a battle. Potentially, I think it is going to turn into something. Sticky gets the inside line. The soft tyres are working well for Sticky. And he has got himself level. And he's got the DRS from behind Moist. So we'll run ahead of Ash K, who has just turned, I think, 4th place into 8th, unfortunately, in that 26th lap. It's the final lap now. Speedy Spud just under 1 second away from Ricky Maru, who's in 4th place, and potentially he's got a 1/4 second of a gap to catch. If he can catch ARL and be less than 3 seconds away, and he can get those 20 seconds rescinded, boom, he is back on the podium from absolutely nowhere. Well, talking about podium, let's talk about the winner at the moment. This looks like Adam Foran, just one hold your breath moment through Ascari. Try and get the grip. Alpha Alex has picked up a 3-second penalty as well. ARL is just not quite within range there on the road. Adam Foran survives Ascari. Will everybody survive Ascari? I'm going to keep half an eye on the track map. Into Parabolica comes Adam Foran. it was never in doubt after the first safety car. Adam Foran emphatically wins in Monza. He's perhaps just a little bit hubristic there on his way, but he wins. Alpha Alex second on the road, ARL third on the road, and Ricky Maru crosses the line in fourth, but drops all the way down with his penalty. So Speedy Spud, provisional results, gets a fourth place. Ash K with a post-race penalty for not serving it there, obviously, but fourth place for our Italian Grand Prix for Speedy Spud. Sticky, though, gets driver of the day, driver of the race, I should say, because we have already had the driver of the sprint today. Oh, wow. Really busy night with some long pauses, but we did enjoy a really busy and enjoyable night there. Adam Foran waves his Irish emerald flag for McLaren and is very, very pleased with that. Fantastic drive from Adam Foran. That was absolutely fantastic from him. And brilliant podium from our drivers. It was very hard fought. Do not underestimate the difficulty of driving around Monza at pace with each other over the length of tonight. AJ says he'll take it. Pace wasn't good enough. Got to turn up next week with more. Fastest lap and the win for the Grand Prix goes to Adam Foran, a 1:21.0 and a 40-minute and a half race time. He gets plenty of points then, 26 as a result. Alpha Alex is in second place, undisputed, I would say. And then ARL and Speedy Spud may fall victim to a penalty rescindment from Ricky Maru, but on the road, ARL in third, Speedy Spud in fourth, Sticky in fifth, Moist, Sticky with the driver of the race, Moist into sixth, Floyd Pink into seventh, great result for Ferrari, Ash K in eighth, Ricky Maru on the road in ninth, and Leon in 10th. Then comes Marco and our DNF's Triple Bay, and Atsu as well. Leon DNF'd as well. So an enjoyable race. Was definitely enjoyable. I think it's going to be busy in the stewards' room later. There'll be plenty to talk about. One thing I was just going to say is that ARL has an appeal pending for the previous race. He appealed the in-game penalty for getting out of everybody's way and picking up a 10-second penalty. That was refused by the stewards, but it has gone to appeal. So I didn't quite finish that thought earlier. Join us next week for the season finale of Season 2. We're in China for the Shanghai race, and this has been Webbo. This has been the International Racing League. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to our host, and we will catch you on the next race day.